Yeah, Santa Crown, go get some sleep. You're not supposed to be awake during 5 in the frickin' morning. Alright, so everybody joined, so we should be able to leave. So this guy needs to hit that guy. I need to play as a client to really debug this. Yeah, I'm in the same time zone. There we go, we got it. Excellent. That is really good that we've got the crash. Okay, so it's inside of the scripting. Okay, good. That's what I thought. Somewhere inside of the UI. So process message received, convert objects. I was trying to convert an object that doesn't exist or something like that. So the UI is blowing the fuck up. That's okay. So the interesting thing about having the UI explode like this is I might be able to debug this situation in prod with a prod build because I can actually change that UI entirely. So it's going to be something loading the game data as we were investigating earlier. Okay, alright. Convert object. So it's converting an object. So maybe we're passing an object to the game. So it's going to be like the game state. Post game. Notify post game. It's just going to be the game utils. Notify game state changed is what's getting called. So notify game state change. Alright, so we're going to call this event game state changed on maybe the post game screen. Oh, we don't even do anything with it. Alright. So we're going to get the game state, we're going to ensure the widgets for everything. For all players, I should really just put a whole bunch of debugging in here to see where it is. Alright, let's see. Parsing game state from game. Alright. So finish parsing. I'm gonna call notifying a change. So left team members. This dot game state equals game state. Good. There's nothing really going on here that should blow any of this crap up. This could have crashed inside of C++ when it's grabbing the current game state. Alright, so we got the game state. Set game widgets. Set for post game. Alright, game state next. Start time, clock container. Get clock time for string. It's going to be inside of here somewhere. Right team, left team score. Sure, team widgets. Sure for team. For all players and team get set. Sure for team. Get status for ping. Get status for length. Alright, well, let's just run that and see what we get. I'm really confused as to what's going on with it, but we at least know how to repro it locally. We know it's in the UI. We know it has something to do with object serialization into JavaScript, so it's like we passed JavaScript something that it choked on. So we need to figure out what's choking it. We should be able to actually let's see. And it has to do with punching people, so it literally has to be something with the punching. Alright, so it's inside of widgets for post. So finished ensuring team, set for post game, widgets and post. So it's literally just like right here. Alright, so we've got that. So I've got another client here. I should be able to reload the UI for these things. I should be able to join the match locally here again. So let's see if I can crash the server. No, I can't crash the server. Alright. So it's replication with that data. Well, I'll just have to wait for booting up the clients again. Well, we'll eventually get it. Alright, so it finished widgets in post. Well, that's confusing. Okay, so it's something else entirely. What is in this post-game screen that's different? Like we've parsed everything out. We called ensure team widgets, ensuring team widgets. Is that in the log? Yeah, it finished ensuring for team. Okay, so we got all the team stuff, so the player UI is correct. Alright, so select the player, start triggered, all this stuff. Post game toggle, tab pressed, reload match stats. Brackensack match stats data with a callback. Match stats. Parse from game. Okay, it's in here. It's in this whole thing. So alright, so we're reloading the player. So net stats finished. Play stats. Ball touch. Player touch. Player specific is J. And player specific finished. This will be starting post fill. Callback. Event complete. Yeah, this is called printf debugging and it's real dumb. But sometimes it's what you got when all you got's hammers. Sometimes I got a script error. Where did I fuck up my JavaScript? So what is it? I must have clicked something while this thing was popping up that screwed it up. Getting ever closer. Reloading match stats from game. Explode. Calling reload match stats. Alright, so it's inside of the match stats. Reloading match stats from game. Did I mark up reload placeholder, not the actual fill from? God damn it. So I'm just gonna get tired. Reload from game. This dot fill from. Fill from is right here. Alright, so have a good one. Yeah. It's gonna be one of these. Like, it's real close. And the thing is, I'm just, like, if the issue is in the UI, I'm just gonna fucking take it out of the UI. Like, I'm not gonna actually fix the problem. I'm just gonna fix the UI and we'll fix the real problem later. Because it's more important just to have it work, right? You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. At that point, it'd be like, you know, who cares if, you know, like, we're not even showing, like, your nemesis yet. But we've got all the information to do so. So, who cares? You know, just, like, disable it. You're like, get this shit later. I'm also pretty goddamn tired. But who cares? Adam's still going, right? He's still playing. That's pretty cool, you know? People are actually sticking around and having some fun with that thing. Can't tell you how many games I've worked on that just get canceled and you never get anybody to play the damn thing. So it's even if this game sucks, crashes and stupid, it's like, well, this game still now exists. That is something. And then after working on this thing for a year, he's able to spend an entire stream actually playing the damn game with people. Even though his hand is cramping up. You can tell. Come on. Punch you. Punch you. And we're out. Now this should be the final debugging to tell us exactly what the fuck is breaking. Why are you breaking? Why? Tell me. The bugs, where are they? Reloading match stats from game. Wait, that's all we get? Reloading match stats from game. Reloading match stats from game. Finished match stats from. Okay, so if this is in C++ land, then it's going to be inside of here. Well, I guess we'll have to put even more garbage in our code base. Alright, I will be right back. Alright. Convert object. CF. Reading address 0x010. Something's null. Reloading match stats from game. Let's just make sure we got it right. Reloading match stats. Game get current match stats. And then we have the promise. This is the function. It's on serialization, so we get out of this thing. It works. So it's going to be, what are we doing here? What is this data structure? Is the actual player stats, and we have a T-array of player stats objects. The player stats have specific touch stats. Alright, so we're copying all these out, and alright, we have the game state, we're getting the game state. Okay, yeah, okay, this is... I have to familiarize myself with this. It's not going to be this time stuff, that's not going to be a problem. So we're going through every player in the player array, and we're grabbing the player state. On that player state, we are grabbing all the different pieces of that. So we're going to be, it's probably going to be the player touches in the player state. So player touches is player specific touch stats. Okay, it's going to be player stats, which is a T-array of specific player states. It's probably that this thing is null. So what I probably want to do is sanitize the input for that thing. And that should probably do it. Which player is this? 2145? He's on the red team? Alright. And we should be getting our crash now. Yeah, returning stats. Okay, so it's inside of stuff that we didn't even write. And it's going to be specifically because of something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do player stats here. I just need to clean up the null pointers, I think, because all the rest of this stuff is just all integers and stuff. It's trying to take a player proxy actor and turn it into something that can be accessed by JavaScript, and I'm guessing it's not necessarily a null, because Unreal's doing like some garbage collection shit on it and is like marked it as dead, but it's not fully dead or something, so we need to make sure it's really dead. So we're gonna go for every player stat ref, so player stat in player stats dot player stats. We're gonna say player stat dot proxy actor. We're just gonna set it to null pointer before we pass it back to JavaScript, and let's see if that just makes it work. And I'll have to remember that in the future, that if you ever pass anything back to the UI that's some of these complex objects, that you're setting yourself up. It's a pretty insidious damn bug there. Like, we've got this stuff because in Unreal Land, like, you try to access this and it would just say, "Oh, this is fun," you know. This isn't something that exists. But because we're handing off this object to the web browser, which is in a different thread and all this other stuff, it's probably blowing up because of that. In other words, I'm blaming everybody but myself for this, which is how I like to go through life. That'd be cool if this was it. I mean, what a concept. I mean, no wonder I didn't. My intuition pointed me in the right direction with it's the post-game stats, stupid. But I didn't think it'd be the serialization of the post-game stats. Like if anything, for the post-game stats and serialization, I would have thought my access of the serialization would have been causing the crash, not handing it off to the general serializer and having it explode. Because usually those general serializers, you know, they get tested with all sorts of crap when people are writing it. So I'm going to try it with nulling it out, and then I'm going to try it with like just commenting out chunks of that state, and, you know, see how that goes. Alright, so which one is this blue dude? This blue dude is 39? Alright. I just don't have much time to get over and punch the dude before, and then exit the match. I only have 30 seconds to do all this crap properly. In order to reproduce the bug. Then I have to exit within the last like 8 seconds, otherwise I won't reproduce it. So we shouldn't crash. Wait, we crashed here. Alright. It's a good question. The object is null. I can't serialize a null actor? Oh, give me a fucking break here. Like, if it's null, just make it null. What the fuck? Like, do I have to hand you a player pointer? I don't want to hand you a player pointer. Yeah, sorry. To answer your question, Mama Faye, why am I on 4.16? We're on 4.16 because we took it when it was the right thing. A lot of the Unreal versions since then haven't had features that we desperately need. And I would like to update, but since we have so many core engine modifications and we're running Perforce instead of Get, it's kind of a giant pain in the ass to pull in the latest. I need to pull in the latest. It's just like, you know, a day of sorting out merge conflicts and dealing with that crap, and we've had other things to do other than that. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is, I don't think we use the player stats for anything, so I'm going to just comment out the player stats setting, so we'll have uninitialized player stats, which should be nothing, because I don't think we use them. Like, do we ever use the player stats? I mean, the player stat lookup. It's called player stats, alright. Alright, so fill from player stats.length. No, we're looking for player stats.player stats. Net stats. Yeah, so we have these player-specific stats, but I don't think we ever actually use them. Yeah, so we got player stats. Yeah, but we never go 2 layers deep inside of it, so pretty sure we don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade Unreal at some point because there's some nice stuff in there that they've got, and it's always good to be on the latest because there were crash bugs that I had to like take from forward versions of Unreal and patch them into our stuff. And that's real sucks when you have to do that. And the reason why we even upgraded to 4.16 specifically was because that's the release that has the volumetric fog and all that cool stuff for lighting, which is something that Adam really wanted to use and wants to use more often. Every time I hit the play button, it's another 45 seconds out of my life. Yeah, so, the stats are loading for our stuff. Like, we've got our pings and bullshit. This is 1776. Alright. Now it should be fixed, right? It should work. And explosions? Fire and death and brimstone? Nope. It's fucking fixed. Alright, that was it. Good. We've got our crash bug fixed, and I am going to revert the hell out of everything I've done. Alright, so this is all log lines of garbage that we don't need anymore. This is all log line shit too, so we'll get rid of those. So yeah, I'm gonna need to mark this thing. This is player state.h. Put a comment in here. To do this cannot be serialized. Needs to be not. We need some shim to get to JS land. Alright. Let's make sure it builds. And one of the things I'd also like to double check is the audio system. If there is load audio config. I'm going to double check that the configs were loading because I was seeing that configs weren't taking effect for the audio system. Yeah, what I'm betting is we're not actually loading our configurations before we're starting up our audio system. So our audio system's getting the defaults because it's order of operations issue. And that's an easy one, I can fix that. Then people can stop complaining about that issue. Yes, Scott was commenting like a couple hours ago about I've got this like ping thing in there, and it just picks a random number between like 1 and 400. Because at that point I hadn't implemented any ping stuff, but I wanted to see the UI for it, so I just like threw some random crap in there, and it's still in there. So, it's like when we were doing the first playtest back in October. So I was like, well, why is my status yellow? You know, like, I wonder, he's trying to figure it out. And then I'm just like, dude, it's all just fucking random. And he's like, God damn it, dude. I should have known. I should have known you just throw random colors on our characters because you're just being a tool. Alright, let's confirm that everything works. And we should also see, so we're reloading configs from disk. We're loading our audio config. Master mute is true. Set master, BGM, voice, volume, SFX. Oh, I don't know. So let's fix the crash. Alright, the audio stuff is something else then, which might take longer to debug, so I'm just not even going to try to do it tonight. If it's not the obvious, stupid, boneheaded error, then I'm not going to find it because I'm a little too boneheaded at the moment to attempt that. This guy is 1501. Cool. Well, if this is the worst thing that we have with this launch, is that we got this stupid disconnect error and then we had to go fix it. You know, and we've got other problems, it's just basic stuff, nothing major. Oh no, the audio config doesn't work. Oh god, it's literally unplayable. Awesome, I'm gonna call that. Done. Alright, one other thing I was going to look into was the end of match sting was a little bit weird. Like, the arena level is supposed to play this thing. Yeah, play victory, defeat, get local player proxy, play SFX sound. Yeah, so I want to try, is there like, play music? So just a play. Yeah, so we can just slot some of this in here. Priority, let's just say 1, volume should be 1. Dupe option, no replace. Yeah, let's just do that sort of stuff. Because if it's playing in the background music track, it won't use the wrong volume. Oh boy. Alright, let's get the defeat sound object. We can test that out real quick. Loop is false, that's correct. Alright, let's go to our options screen. Let's go to our audio. Let's mute our sound effects. And let's lose the match. And let's make sure that victory works. So if that's gonna work. Yeah, it worked. Awesome. Alright, we are done. So let's revert all the unchanged stuff. What's this got a diff of? This is the arena test. Yeah, I'll revert that file. I want that change. Cool. So that is the disconnect crash fixed.